going on, guys? I had somebody request me to do like a list and parts and stuff on the costs to modify a stock sleeved engine on motorized bicycles versus getting one that's already high quality. I'm going to start with parts and costs to modify the sleeve with a pin, and I think I found a way around doing what I wanted to do, so I'll explain that while I go through. But first off, I'll just go over the list and explain a few things throughout there, and then we'll jump in between going back and forth to the cylinder, so then that way I can show you some things. But first off, the parts and cost to modify the sleeve with a pin. You're going to want to get yourself some pins. Down below I'll end up leaving some links so you guys can find those, but most of your hobby shops and stuff that sell Traxxas RC cars, they should have these kind of things. If not, look on the internet and you should be able to find some as well. But these are pretty much the ones that I found that were pretty much what I was looking for, so these would work really well. Here's the list right here. Okay, so first you're going to need a cylinder barrel. Excuse me. I've seen online, you know, the cheaper ones will run you around like $20 and upwards of around like $120 from like that company Miami Bikes or whatever that is. But that's if you don't have one. Most engines have the aluminum Nickel chrome plated sleeves on them, and they won't have the sleeved barrel inside. You want to get some Traxxas screw pins. I'd suggest around the 4x15 mil, so it's 4 mil threaded end, and then on the other end it'll be 15 millimeter. Basically it's a little set screw. It's got a little Allen head on one side, and then on the bottom of the set screw that would normally push into something, that's actually got a pin on it. They're a little long because they're the total length of them are 15, but that gives you plenty of length to trim down the pin. You want to make sure that when you drill the hole into the cylinder, hang on a second, I'll grab a cylinder real quick so we can go over this. But basically, this is what we're talking about. Okay, so here's one of the YD100 cylinders I got laid out. I do not have a cast iron sleeve cylinder, so I have had them in the past, but there'll be a thickness of the sleeve itself, and then you're left with the aluminum body here. Now what I'm thinking is putting a screw pin here through this metal and a slight dimple into the inside of the sleeve, down as low as you can get it without going through the sleeve. You just barely want to make a dimple on the inside wall of that sleeve when you drill it out, because I'm figuring if you can grind off just one little small area, like right here and right here, cut that piece of fin out and then sand that area off, file it off, whatever you got to do, flatten it up if you want. But you drill a hole into that until you touch the sleeve. Do not go any further with that drill bit. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to get yourself set up, or you can go either way. I mean, honestly, the best way probably would be do your small hole. That's for the cylinder and the pin. So you drill in with the smallest bit. Make sure you take a measurement first with your calipers so you're not going over, and mark your drill bit with a piece of tape so you don't go in any further if you're using a hand drill. If you've got a drill press, you can fine-tune your measurements and turn your stops on so you don't go too far, and brace this up somehow sideways on your drill press so it's level when you go to drill it down. But First drill your small hole in, one, to the corresponding side, do the second one with the small drill bit. Correct depth, do not go through the sleeve. And then you're gonna make a depth for the amount of the set screw head. You do not want that any deeper than you have to be, because you would like that to have a shoulder of the aluminum here left between the sleeve and the cast body. You do not want any air leaks, so I'd suggest maybe some thread locker or something on there, or head gasket sealant, maybe some shellac or something on the threads of the set screw when you put that in there, just to be precautious. But I don't think you'll have any issues if you are smart enough and careful enough to not go through the wall. You only want to create a dimple in the wall for that set screw that set screw pin, when you trim the end off the pin piece for the correct depth. You do not want that going any further into there. You just want a notch for that pin to kind of set in on the side of the wall, so this cylinder doesn't move. I'm sure you could probably get away with one, but I would suggest doing two. Me personally, I would. One here, and that should pin your sleeves together. When you first get those, make sure the top sides of the sleeve isn't protruding up further than your head gasket material. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes it'll sit a little low. Sometimes your sleeves will be a little twisted up inside the bore. So just take those things into caution. Make sure your sleeve's straight and everything when you go to put it together. Make sure your port timing numbers are on, and then proceed to go and set up for your pin installation. Now, we should have a total of around $25 to $125, depending on the cylinder barrel that you buy, and if you have a drill, bits, and taps on hand. Time and patience. This is the one thing that saves you money. You aren't spending money because you're doing it yourself. Time and patience is what's going to get you. You got to be smart, take your time, be patient, and use your brain. As for doing any of the situations where you buy a cylinder, you're going to be spending a lot more money than that to actually get a good cylinder for that motorized bicycle bottom end. Those China dolls, I mean, any of the cylinders that are top end, geez, I got a little hair stuck in your hand. Okay, but anyways, but yeah, if you're gonna buy a cylinder, you're gonna be looking at least, like, you could be upwards of $200 and something for a cylinder kit that has a really good sleeve in it, that actually has a shouldered flange on the sleeve that has a notch cut into it or a tab cut into it that keeps that sleeve from rotating in the barrel and dropping or raising. And it also gives you, they usually give you a small fraction of a millimeter, where they're just barely above the head mating surface on the cylinder barrel body itself. So when that sleeve's pressed in there, you have a small protrusion that can help make some sealing power on your head gasket around the combustion chamber where the seal is on the head. So hopefully, I guess I helped you out a little bit. I'd really love to do it myself, but I just don't have a cast sleeve to do it. So I do end up getting one, and I have the time and patience. I'm going to do that. I'm going to try and get a little bit better at these videos and stuff. But as we're going along here, I am growing and learning how to do these videos. That's the worst of it. I always get caught up in projects, and my hands are greasy, and it's just a hassle to hang around a camera. You forget. There's just so many things you catch up on. I don't have a camera person or anything. It's just me holding my phone, doing my thing. So, we'll get going on this, and we'll make some more changes on the other bikes that I have. We'll let you see what I'm up to after tax time, because we got something pretty sick coming up. We're going to hopefully start hitting a drag strip. It's just a little bit of a taste of what we got going on. But I have a few guys that want to go down to the drag strip with me, and I have a build that I have been planning for a few years, and I'm actually gonna make a dodo move here, and I'm gonna go and buy all my parts and stuff with my Traxxas. I'm gonna take the hit, take the loss. I'm never gonna do it if I just don't take the hit and jump for it. So we're gonna take a chance here, and we're gonna jump off a ledge and see what happens. Maybe we'll be pretty good at this, but we'll talk to you guys later. Like and subscribe. I'm trying to put more videos up. Make sure we have our time allotted. Make sure they're informational. If you guys have any tips, advice, that would be awesome. So, all right, YouTubers, have a good night. Y'all stay safe. Peace.